Welcome to the Resistance broadcast, everybody. I'm John. Thank you so much for joining us today. It is Make Solo 2 Happen Day. And if you're not sure what that is, it's our celebration of Solo, a Star Wars story. It's our hope for a sequel or a Disney Plus series, any follow-up with Han, Chewie, and the rest of the awesome characters from Solo, a Star Wars story. How to participate? It's pretty simple, guys. All you have to do is take to your social media accounts and use the hashtag #MakeSolo2Happen. A lot of you know what that is, but I know some of you may not. Maybe this is someone just stumbling upon the Resistance broadcast saying, what is this Make Solo 2 Happen Day? That's what it is. So whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, what else is there,
What else,
guys?
John?
TikToks.
TikTok?
Yeah.
What's the Snapchat?
Instagram?
Snapchats?
WhatsApp.
Yeah, WhatsApps. All that stuff. MySpace, is that still a thing? I don't know. But do it on there anyway.
Yeah. YouTube.
Make Solo, a Star Wars story one of your top friends on your MySpace list. How about that?
With Tom.
Top 8.
Right. But we're joined by Joonas Suotamo today, guys. He is going to be on the show later. Chewbacca himself on the show to support and make Solo 2 happen. It doesn't get better than that. I have a fake Chewie back there. We have the real Chewie on the show today. But joining me right now, my co-hosts, as always, James and Lacey. Guys, I know we're all so excited about Make Solo 2 Happen Day. That's obvious.
Yes.
I was just thinking about it before we started recording about how different it was last year and when we started this thing, and I'm walking around New York Comic Con with this t-shirt and people are like, whoa, what is that? Oh yeah, I'm down. High five, what up? And now it's like this thing that people are all, and it's a positive thing too. I'm just so happy about it, and I just want to see where you guys are at now. And are you guys just pumped that it's here and it's Make Solo 2 Happen Day and we're here to have a good time?
I mean, absolutely. Like, that was the thing last year, right? We kind of put it out and we were thinking it was going to give me a small thing, but so many people were like, oh, what? Make Solo 2 happen? Shoot. Yeah, I'd love that. You know, it was, we got so many people that were like, this is, I thought I was the only one.
Yeah.
You know, I really liked this movie, but I was almost kind of afraid to say it. And it's really cool now because I'm seeing this is popping up and it like shows this whole community of people that you didn't even know were there. And I don't know, it's just so interesting. I love what you were saying. It's so true. Like, you walk down the street and people will like see your shirt and they go out of their way to like say something to you, or you know what I mean, like in a good way, not like in an awkward way, but like we even had a guy one time send us a video of him at Galaxy's Edge, and one of the stormtroopers like pointed to his shirt and was like, agree. I was like, that is so awesome. I loved it. I love that it happened, and I love that it was recorded and sent to us. It just so massively celebrates the whole movement.
It really is. Lacey, how pumped are you about Make Solo 2 Happen Day?
I'm super pumped. I love, as everyone knows, I love talking about why I love Star Wars and having fun with it and focusing on the positive things that I like and the positivity of Star Wars. And I think sometimes it can get a little tough online because people can be a little negative, but I think that, I think The Mandalorian and Make Solo 2 Happen are the two things that are consistently fun, like positive energy in the Star Wars fandom that anybody can get behind and have a good time. And I know we've met so many people through this fan movement, and a lot of the creators and people behind the movie have gotten behind it as well. So I'm interested to see what happens today, who gets involved, and just have fun with people and talk about Solo.
Which would you guys remember our whole Make Mando Season 2 hashtag happen?
Very
we
successful.
Did it.
And then make Episode 9 happen. They were going to stop at 8, and they're like, you know what? We'll finish the trilogy. We'll
do it for them.
We'll call up JJ because of you guys. So.
They're listening, everybody.
Yeah.
They're listening to the fans.
But all jokes aside, but keep the jokes going. It's all about just simply sharing your love for Solo. And if you have a Make Solo 2 Happen t-shirt or something, cool. If you have a cool Han Solo or Chewie t-shirt or a Chewie stuffed animal, or you're doing a live watch, do a live tweet of Solo, get some of your friends together.
So much Solo cosplay.
Just tweet it all out there, because guys, we're going to be retweeting this from the Resistance Broadcast account. Someone who's not even one of us made an account called Make Solo 2 Happen, and they're going to be retweeting from there as well. So get involved on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all those things. And really, it's just sharing your love for Solo: A Star Wars Story, for Han, Chewie, all those characters, and the hope that we see a sequel, whether that's a movie or a Disney Plus series. Just, it left off so perfectly. We'll get to more of that in just a bit on the Kessel run. And then we have Joonas Suotamo coming up later. So we have a lot to get into, but we just want to go through two things real quick. First, we have a giveaway, guys, and it's real simple how you enter this thing. All you need to do on Twitter today is use 5 different tweets using hashtag #MakeSolo2Happen, and you'll win the Making of Solo: A Star Wars Story book by the producer and ILM Big Cheese, Rob Brito, and also a new variant of Make Solo 2 Happen shirt that James is gonna give you the details on right now.
Yeah, it's cool because we had that classic like black shirt which John and Lacey are sporting today, right? Black shirt, and it had the yellow lettering on it, and I got crazy because I was the one like making the design and everything. I bought this yellow hoodie and I thought it would work good, and I made the black one. So we did the yellow variant with the black lettering, and that was really successful too. But because Make Solo 2 Happen Day was coming up, I wanted to do something special, and I came up with a new variation on the shirt, which is it's a red shirt with white lettering, and I gotta tell you, I think it might be my favorite. It just looks so good. Especially there's a t-shirt and there's the premium hoodie that even has like white little hanging things. What are these called? Little strings.
Flare.
Shoelaces.
Yeah, laces. It goes so well. The shirts look great, but here's the catch. Like, you're gonna be able to win one with the contest, but if you want to buy one, they're only available today. So just for Make Solo 2 Happen Day, if you want to check the show notes, if you're on a podcast app, or if you want to look at the description in this YouTube video, whatever you're watching or listening on, head there to Teespring and check out the shirt. And if you like it, like I said, today is the only day it's available, so go ahead and grab one.
And I know every day has been feeling like the same day, but it's not.
Yes.
So make sure if you do want that, today's the day. But you know what? Take a shot, guys. Take a shot and try to win one, because then you get the book too. And like Han said, never tell me the odds. 5 tweets with Make Solo 2 Happen. Not that bad of a deal, because you're also spreading the movement. So win, 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 right?
Yeah.
3 wins. Lacey, we are also celebrating kind of a nightcap tonight. We're opening up the virtual cantina. We have full capacity, I'm sure, at this point, but there's other ways people can get involved and all that sort of stuff. So why don't you give us the details on what's going on with the special opening of the cantina tonight?
Yeah, so a lot of people really enjoyed the first one, so thank you for that. And they've been constantly hounding us when the next one is. So we want to make this a special thing, so we waited until the biggest day for us, besides obviously movie premieres and whatnot, but Make Solo 2 Happen Day. So we're going to open up the cantina tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to live stream it to YouTube so you can watch and chat along with us. And if you applied for a spot, get ready, because the details are on the way to your inbox.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. So, yeah, we're going to be doing that whole Zoom thing. And like Lacey said, if you are shy or you didn't get a spot and you wanted a spot, the live chat's going to be there for you to get involved in the comments. And we're going to be popping in the comments too in there and multitasking while we're chatting as well. So we're really excited about all this stuff today. It's a great day, and we love everyone who's been getting involved in Make Solo 2 Happen, because it's simple, it's fun, it's positive, it's not a demand, it's not a petition, it's just the love for this movie and the hope we see all these characters again. And we're going to give you the reasons why right now. We're doing a very special truncated Kessel run, the 12 reasons why they should make Solo 2 happen.
You've never heard of the Millennium Falcon? It's a ship that made the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs.
So guys, I'm thinking we start with this. James, you'll go first, then Lacey, then me. We'll run through these items and kind of talk about them briefly. But give our TRB 12 reasons why we think they should make Solo 2 happen. Then we want to hear from you in the comments, and of course on Twitter especially, why they should make Solo 2 happen. So, James, why don't you kick us off with number 12 on why they should make Solo 2 happen?
Well, personally for me, I think this one is pretty obvious, right? Because want to see more Han and Chewie, right? So we we watch the original movie, right? And they meet for the first time. They go on a couple missions together, right? And they're just starting to learn each other. But where that movie ends, man, them holding on to the lever and taking off into hyperspace.
The dice.
2 buddies. Yeah, love it. Like, absolutely love it. And it's one of those things where I personally, and I know you guys feel the same way, but like, I just want to see what's next, right? Han
Absolutely.
and Chewie together. It's in a weird way, it's almost like the promise of Solo that kind of didn't happen, right? They're like, hey, we're going to make this movie. It's going to be Han and Chewie, and they're going on adventures, and they're getting into all this stuff, and then we see them, and they meet for the first time, and they're kind of awkward, and but it just where it leaves off, man. That's what I want to see. That's my number 12.
Yeah, it's Alden was signed to 3 movies. We know that's not always a guarantee, but they set the main part of the story 10 years before A New Hope. They had all intentions of filling in more gaps with Han and Chewie. Mm-hmm. And you hear their little banters throughout the original trilogy about these little things they did, or it wasn't like this time, or it wasn't like that time. We want to see those times, and we want to see Han work for Jabba and all that sort of stuff. And I know Lacey does more than anybody. I mean, and that's, I believe that's later on down the list. We won't get into that now, but it's just simple. Han and Chewie, more adventures with them. Easy reason.
Yes. Am I next?
You're next.
Number
Number 11.
So 11 is kind of a 2-parter in the sense that one of the reasons we want more Solo is for Kira and Maul and Crimson Dawn, and then Enfys Nest, as we call her, Enfys Best here on TRB. Mm-hmm. And the start of the rebellion. Those are 2 storylines that left, just like James just said, where Han and Chewie are blasting off into space. These 2 storylines as well are kind of like setting up to something epic. And you're just like, Maul is back?
Yes.
He's got his legs. He's got a lightsaber. Kira's going to meet him. What does this mean? Mm-hmm. And then you have Enfys Nest, who's talking about rebellion. You're like, oh my gosh, is that Cassian? Is it Leia? Like, what does it mean?
Yeah.
So... let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Let's keep this going because there's just so many things they could do.
Yeah, it's like you said, the threads are all there. And maybe they will explore those characters and other stuff. It's possible Enfys Nest pops up in Cassian Andor or whatever.
Sure.
But you can't have this movement without bringing those characters up. Plain and simple.
Right.
All right, number 10. As we know, writer Jon Kasdan already revealed he has the story outlines, and he revealed that in response to our tweet on Make Solo 2 Happen Day. Or was it on Celebration? I forget when he did that. But he pretty much outlined the fact that he's got the crime syndicates, the Pikes, Crimson Dawn, and the Hutts ready to go to war. Yeah. He has the outline set up for Han and Chewie to get involved in this mess with all these other characters. So we know, like... one of the stumbling things about making something happen and putting something into development is, we got to get a writer and we got to get the story outlines. You got it all right there. And we already know, James, who's good friends with Jon Kasdan that you found out at the LA Global Press Conference.
Well, John, that would be Michelle Rejwan.
And who's Michelle
Rejwan? Live action development.
Right.
That's right.
That moment was so good, by the way.
Yeah.
You kept us going for so long. We had no idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got us.
I just figured I'd keep it secret. If you guys want to go check back that random episode after the global press conference, I hid something that I got to speak with Michelle Rejwan privately, and she told us that she was very, very well aware of Make Solo 2 Happen, and they love the response, and they love this. She took a picture of my hoodie and said she was going to send it to a friend.
Brian Herring.
I know, Lots of people have taken a picture. She said she was going to send it to a friend, and then later I saw her again, and I asked her if she sent it to her friend, and she said, she says he hasn't responded, but I'm sure John is going to love it, and it was Jon Kasdan who she was referring to.
It's amazing.
So. Nice.
So we know they have each other's numbers, so get on the horn. Let's go. James, what's the number 9 reason why we think they should make Solo 2 happen?
Well, John, you mentioned it earlier, and that would be Jabba the Hutt, right? I think we all kind of knew that this was coming. Like, in a weird way, like I was saying before, Solo seems like it set up for the next movie. It's just like, it just perfectly is like, oh yeah, you know, you got a little bit of familiarity here. We're going to continue that. We have Maul, we have Jabba. It's right there. We know you want it. We know you love it. And that's kind of one of those things that I think would be really cool to see. Like we got Jabba originally, Return of the Jedi, right? And then we got Jabba in the prequels, and they like CG'd him and stuff. How cool would it be, and how well do you know they're going to treat the character and bring him back to life, and we get new scenes with that character? Oh,
I know how
give me
awesome.
the puppet.
I know how
4
excited
sweaty
Lacey is
dudes
for
that.
in a suit.
Right.
Do it.
yeah.
I want
Lacey,
it.
Lacey, that's your favorite part of all Star Wars?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all of it.
And you know, they promoted Solo with this whole line, big shot gangster and all that stuff, and they're talking about Jabba the
Putting
whole
together a
time.
crew.
And I think they had it all in mind. So if they do make it, we're gonna see Jabba, guys, and Salacious
can't
Crumb and
wait.
stuff. So Lacey, number 8 reason why they should make Solo 2 happen.
So it's funny that I'm reading number 8 because while this is a reason, I don't think of our team, I'm the most passionate one about this. I think John would be, but number 8 is Solo was not marketed well by Disney / Denny's. I can't believe that's actually a statement. Okay. I love Solo.
That's where they put their cash.
I don't understand. Like, but the thing is Denny's didn't do a bad job. Like, they had cups, they had like cards. It was like kind of cool. They had posters, whatever. But why would you choose Denny's as your go-to marketing campaign when, oh my gosh, you just think of all the marketing they did for Rogue One and the Skywalker saga, how they have everything everywhere. It just wasn't done well. And I really hope it's not part of this, but if Solo 2 does happen and it's a movie, I hope they put it in December where Star Wars movies belong.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Denny's, I can't believe.
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
I mean, John, you could talk a little bit about this, but I think one of our bigger reasons of, you know, or one of the bigger reasons people say they'll never do it is because it didn't make money. And it's very easy to argue, you know, number one, it is comparatively, it made a lot of money into other movies.
Yep.
We know that it had to be reshot
Right.
and it had to have all this money spent that was needless.
Right.
But they would have all that sorted from the beginning of this
Sure.
next one. So it's just, there's a lot of things. And then the marketing, right? It's like launching it at the Super Bowl, and then which sounds good, but
Which
your
was
movie
great,
comes out in
yeah.
like 4 months or 5
Right.
months or something.
And let's not forget that they were, I think they may have been a little bit nervous about Alden, so they kind of hid him a little bit when they should have
They
been really
did.
shoving him in your face. And I think in talking with Clayton Sandell like a long time ago, he said he thinks their biggest mistake was not marketing the romance between Kira and Han. And I think that's if you look at the trailers, that's non-existent. And I think that's a very
Right.
important part of what makes Han who he is when he gets burned by Kira.
I mean, James
But-
said they weren't going to kiss, and they kissed in the first 5
Bang, right out of the
minutes.
gate there.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that showcases like you're watching the trailers and you're like, I don't know about
Yeah,
that
you said, "No
relationship.
way."
I think
Yeah.
it's just like a loose
Yeah.
friendship kind of thing.
They should have.
Yeah, it's like, no.
They should have put their foot on the gas on that, I think. And then the other thing, it's been well documented by a lot of sources, including people we had talked to, that Bob Iger put his foot down and said, "I'm not moving the movie. It's coming out in May. You got to deal with your burning fire."
Right after Avengers and
Yeah.
Deadpool 2.
So they could have waited until August. Like, it's funny. That whole year I was looking at the box office returns of like movies coming out in August, and they were like the worst movies ever. I'm like, if Solo came out right now, it would just at least make $500 million. It's just like.
Oh,
It's
no.
crazy.
Yeah.
What so a lot of went into it, and the bottom line, like you say, the marketing was not good for the movie. And then that leads into this next one here, which is number 7. A sequel, movie, or series to Solo would cost way less to make. James, you said it first.
Yeah.
They had to almost double the budget to reshoot the thing. Now they have the technology of The Mandalorian, which we talked about on the Mando fan show on Friday. The volume right there. You don't have to fly to Fuerteventura. You don't have to fly to the mountains in Italy to film Vandor. You flip a switch, and in 30 minutes, bang, there you are. Bang, there you are. And you're on these sets. And the time it takes now You're filming in camera. You have directors knowing the shots that they have are established. You don't need to do as much in post and get as many people involved to look at things and fix things and stuff like that. The game is being changed as we speak. And as we keep saying here, a lot of people are confused. Oh, Make Solo 2. What if it was a series? That's what this is all about. The whole thing, whether it's a movie or a series. The technology is there, and the budget would be a lot lower, which I think would incentivize Disney to want to maybe pursue things that they wouldn't have otherwise before.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
No, I absolutely agree with that. I mentioned it really quickly, but like, come on, guys! They fired the director because it for whatever reason it just wasn't happening, and they fired them and got them out of there, and then they were just stuck in this position. They're like, look, we're gonna have to like pretty much double our budget. Like one of our bigger episodes of the podcast was when we broke the news that Ron Howard was gonna shoot nearly 80% of the movie again, and they were trying to cover it up a little bit. They were like, well, he's gonna be here for like a couple weeks or something like that, and then it's like, he was there just as long as when production started to when we got the news that they were fired. Yeah. And from when he started to when they said the production was wrapped, it was the same amount of time.
About 4 months.
You got to think they made the movie twice practically. Yeah. And you're not, that's massively unheard of. And you're not gonna run into that situation again. You're gonna be able to do the movie for a lot less and probably make a lot more.
And it was still Ron Howard's highest grossing movie of all time. Fun fact.
Yeah,
right.
Don't forget that.
Yeah. All right, number 6 is you, James?
Yeah, I can read it off.
Okay. However you wanted to word this one, because we had to talk about this before. But
yeah. I think that it would be really cool that if you're bringing in Jabba, right, and you're going to have more adventures where he's putting together a crew, you got to think somewhere in the mix is Boba Fett, right? We already know that the Mandalorian, like everything has become like a new cultural thing that didn't even exist when they were doing Solo, right? So it's almost good that they kept Boba Fett out because it just sets up the perfect thing to like lead into Solo 2, right? We're going to market this on the fact that Boba Fett is in the movie. And whether it's friendly at first, they get along, he admires him or whatever, or they don't get along and we see like some weird like clash of relationship. I just want to see Boba Fett back on the big screen or being brought back. Who knows about Mandalorian season 2? I don't. But right now, I want to see Boba Fett in his prime, in that era, with Han and Chewie, and see what their relationship is like. And Lando too, if he's around or whatever. Yeah, I mean, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
John, you want to take the next one?
You don't want to take this one?
Nah. Okay. I'll take the next one.
All right.
All right. There you go.
All right, number 5. Solo was George Lucas's idea, and it's the closest thing to a George Lucas Star Wars movie in this era. All right, so yes, before he sold Lucasfilm to Disney, he was already conceptualizing doing a prequel Han Solo movie, and he wanted Lawrence Kasdan to write it. They wound up making a Han Solo prequel movie. Lawrence Kasdan wrote it. George Lucas visited the set. He even directed a shot between Han and Kira, which is a very quick but charming scene. There's even a footage of him on set on the Dejarik table hanging out with Ron Howard, having a good time. And all indications are that he really enjoyed Solo. And when you think about, it was his idea. He wanted Kasdan to write it. Kasdan did write it. He got Ron Howard, who was in his first movie ever. This movie is just entrenched in George Lucas. And I think it's, in my opinion, the closest thing to what he would have made in this era. So if you love George Lucas, I think that's another reason why they should make Solo 2 happen. So number 4, Lacey, you want to take this one then?
Yeah, that's why I gave that one to John, by the way, for the people at home, because he had a good argument for it. So next, 4, Alden Ehrenreich did a great job as Han Solo. So this is something that we see a lot online. I know I have, video form, whatever you want, where people are arguing that Alden didn't do a good job or Alden's not Harrison Ford. I went into the movie kind of expecting an impersonation of Harrison Ford. Like, I didn't know how it was going to go. And what I got was someone who was making it their own, was super charming, had hints here and there of Harrison Ford and Han Solo, but really just owned the role and is Han Solo. He's so good. He's so funny. Him and Chewbacca, Joonas, are so great together. He was completely believable. And every time I watch it, it's more and more is Han Solo to me. Because I see it as Han Solo in a different period of his life. So that's why I'm I can easily separate him and Harrison Ford, because Harrison Ford is the jaded one later in life.
Right.
And then it also just makes me think of when they announced him at Celebration and they brought him out and he smiled and John Boyega was like, oh my God, you look just like Harrison Ford. So the fact that they saw 3,000 people, he was the first one that they saw. And then after 3,000 people, they went back to him. Guys, they saw everybody under the sun for this role and they picked the right person. Alden is great. He wants to be Solo again, I bet. And I want to see him as Solo again.
They should have seen 3,720 people.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Because
Never tell me the odds.
Because that's never tell me the odds.
Oh.
He'd be the 3,720 to 1. Yeah.
Okay. Number 3 reason, James.
Well, here's the thing. As much as we want to see Solo 2, right? The movie, the film, I don't think any of us here would be opposed to the series.
Nope.
Because I mentioned Mandalorian earlier, and we know we're going to get this Cassian Andor show. We know we're going to get the Obi-Wan thing, and we know that Disney Plus is not holding back on the budgets and the quality of those television shows. So ultimately, what a Solo 2 series would just be an even longer movie, so to speak, which they could kind of break it up.
Like
and they
Kenobi.
could be like, okay, yeah, exactly. Here is the ideas that we had for the movie. We've turned it into this thing. And now that we have a little bit more time, we can expand on the characters. It's essentially free for fans to enjoy, because I think that's one of the big things too, is people skipped Solo. They're like, oh, whatever, I'm not going to see that, and then they saw it later and they're like, why didn't I go see this in the theater?
A lot of people say that. Yeah,
so many people did that, and I had a guy that I work with, and he said he skipped it and he watched it on a plane because he was like, all right, fine, whatever, and then he loved it so much that he watched it on the plane ride home. Like, you have the whole library of movies.
Yeah.
He chose to watch it again because he loved it so much.
I saw Solo 11 times on planes before it came out on DVD.
Wow.
11.
That's crazy.
You flew a lot in 2018.
Yeah, I did.
But the Solo 2 series, that's what I'm saying, is I think if you put it on Disney Plus, I think you're going to get that big rush of people, like how they do Netflix specials and stuff. They're like, oh, it's free, it's there, I already have it, I'm going to watch this, and they'll probably get into it and enjoy it a lot better because it's right there, right in front of them, and they can expand on the characters, give a couple episodes to the Maul and Kira stuff that we were talking about earlier, a couple episodes to Jabba, move into the Enfys Nest and how that all fits in. It's just... I think a Solo series could almost be better than the movie.
And I don't want to
see Solo 2.
I don't want to like put anybody in the spot here, but we've talked to people who have important roles who say, I would love if they made a Solo series. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well put,
But
James.
it is to make... We want to make it clear, though, that we've always wanted a movie or series.
Oh, yeah.
The funniest thing is when this kind of took off, people were like, well, it would actually make a better series. We were like, we've been saying this for the longest time.
That was from the beginning, yeah.
Especially after The Mandalorian came out, we heard a lot more of that.
Yes.
And I always joke, because I tweet from TRB, and I say, well, it's a lot easier to say make Solo 2 happen than make Solo on any type of media format possible happen. And they're like, oh,
we will take it in any form.
Yeah. Okay. Couldn't put it any better. Well said, guys. Lacey, the number 2 reason why they should make Solo 2 happen.
The fans want it. Hashtag make Solo 2 happen. So John started this hashtag a long, long time ago in September 2018.
In this galaxy.
In this galaxy. And it kind of took off from there. You know, we wanted to just show love for it, and explain why we wanted the series, and then we just kind of were like, you know what, let's pick a day that we just celebrated to have fun. And then it was trending worldwide, number 2, and it was trending all day, and it got attention by Ron Howard, and it got attention by all these fans. Like we've said numerous times in this countdown, like so many fans have come out of the woodwork saying, I wish I saw it in movie theaters. I regret not seeing it. It's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. And also, I saw it. I loved it. I felt like I couldn't express how much I loved it.
Yeah.
You're not alone. There's tons and tons of people, including us, that love it.
There's more
so
of
make
us.
sure, make sure that you're using hashtag Make Solo 2 Happen. Let Lucasfilm know that we want this without tagging creators, just with the hashtag.
Yeah, that's a good
Be
point.
respectful.
Yeah, don't flood your tweets with tagging creators and actors and stuff, because they'll see it. Don't trust
They know.
us.
They know.
And another thing about this, before we get to the number one reason, which I'm sure people are guessing what it is, but
Because everyone's like, wait, isn't this number 1?
Segways, baby. No, but fans, even like it's just a positive movement overall. And there are going to be people like, oh, why Solo? It's called A New Hope. It's like, okay,
It made no
clever.
money. Oh, I didn't know you worked for Disney.
But it's like, I even see people who don't necessarily always get along with other people on Make Solo 2 Happen Day last year, like getting along and like talking about
Right.
it and like, I like that and I'm sharing that and that's so cool. And it was such a unifying day. And I hope today is like that. And it's just, again, it's not a demand. It's not a petition. It's just a positive love for Solo and showing that we would love to see more of all of what we just talked about here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just going to say real quick, like, to be honest, like, to upfront, just straightforward, I don't even think it's particularly any of our favorite Star Wars movie. Like, what it is for a lot of people. But my thing is that it's so massively underappreciated that we want to make sure that it gets appreciated.
Yeah.
I think it's in my top 3, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
up there
I mean,
for me.
it's up there for a lot of people. My thing is, like, I think when people talk about how much they support like The Last Jedi or any of the sequel movies, even Rogue One, I think like it's pretty like, okay, yeah, I understand it fits in there, but it's like Solo is in this weird spot where like I think people really like it, but they think that nobody else does.
Right.
It's in a weird spot.
And it's, to me, I always saw it as the first Star Wars underdog story since the original movie. Because I felt like when we created this thing, it was like a tongue-in-cheek thing. Like, it's so ridiculous to think of asking for a sequel to this movie because it didn't do great at the box office. But I just felt like it was like that wounded dog that needed someone to root for it. And it has that charm to it, and that's Han Solo. He's always up against it, and
it's the best dog too.
Yeah, it's the best dog, and we're about to talk to something similar to that. And the number one reason why they should make Solo 2 happen is we need more Chewbacca, guys. Come on.
That segue, though.
Are you trying to tell me right now that Episode 9 is gonna be the last time we see Chewbacca in Star Wars? And I know people are gonna think, well, he can pop up in a cameo here, cameo there. They can do animated. No. We
have an
need
idea.
Joonas Suotamo in the suit as Chewbacca in a sizable role.
Yeah.
You can't have Star Wars without Chewbacca. The best way to do it is a Solo follow-up. And that's our Kessel run, guys. That is the 12 reasons why we think they should make Solo 2 happen. Let us know on Twitter at RBATSWNN using hashtag make Solo 2 happen why you think they should make a follow-up to Solo. Some of you are going to be featured on this episode later, but make sure you're tweeting today and also in the comments of the YouTube if you'd like. But speaking of Chewbacca, our special guest today knows a lot about him. And you know why? Because he is him. We got Chewbacca on the show. So let's head to our interview with our special guest on this glorious hashtag Make Solo 2 Happen Day, Joonas Suotamo.
Hi, everyone. Hi, John, James, and Lacey. It's Joonas Suotamo here. It's cool to join you guys on the Resistance broadcast.
Well, thanks for joining us, Joonas. We are so pumped that you're here, especially on Make Solo 2 Happen Day. Now, I know we're a Star Wars podcast, but I gotta ask you this question. Because you are a former professional basketball player, have you seen the Last Dance documentary about Michael Jordan and the Bulls? What do you think of it, and who's the greatest player of all time, MJ or LeBron?
Yes, I've seen. I just watched the 9th episode, and it's just an amazing documentary. It just like we have deserved for a long time. We've deserved to have it all in a complete package, and done well like it has. I think it's a great documentary. Michael Jordan has always been, I've considered him the best because I mean he was a complete machine when it came to basketball. He could do it all. And I think Michael Jordan, definitely greatest of all time.
See, good answer. That is the right answer, because I grew up on Jordan. Like, I was the right age in the 90s. I had his jerseys, his basketball cards, and everything like that. And I have debates with my friends all the time about MJ versus LeBron. So I'm glad that you picked MJ so we can continue on with the interview. No, I'm just kidding. But on to Star Wars. Obviously, we have you here to talk about Solo, Chewie, all the good stuff from a galaxy far, far away. Enough about basketball. So with The Rise of Skywalker, you have passed, I don't know if you know this, but you've passed legend Peter Mayhew in screen time as Chewbacca. So I kind of wanted to ask you, what does carrying on Peter's legacy mean to you?
First of all, I'm going to be always grateful and in debt to Peter Mayhew. The fact that he created this character that's unbelievably memorable and walks in a way that evokes, a distant galaxy with a creature inhabiting it, and not a person, that's always going to be something that took Chewbacca from a man in a suit into a real living creature. And Peter, created that. So I'm really grateful to him, and I miss him, and he is so missed by the fan community. So that is the relevant thing here. I think it means so much as a fan, a lifelong fan of Star Wars, to be able to carry that, mantle forward for the future generations, so that they can have a Chewbacca. So that's important to me.
Wow, yeah. I mean, Peter was amazing, and I'm so glad you got to spend that one-on-one time, because it really carries over. Let me ask you then, what is your personal mindset when you're playing Chewbacca? Is there kind of like a personality that you bring out when you're actually becoming the character?
Of course, I'm reflecting on my own memories and my own attitudes about things when choosing the way to react or move forward with the action in the scene. Chewie is always very, very loyal to his friends, and that sort of guides him. So when I was doing scenes for the first films, I used to think that Chewbacca is always on the defense. He's always looking around, suspicious. Covering everyone's back.
Oh yeah, yep. That makes a lot of sense for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Joonas, we're huge fans of Solo, obviously. So what was your favorite memory filming Solo Star Wars Story, and what's your favorite part of the movie?
My favorite memory filming Solo was, I think it could be the scenes we shot with Alden when Chewbacca and Han are introducing themselves. I think that scene is I thought it was just amazing. It could have been the wind machine that was, making Chewbacca's hair flow, like that. But it was a very cool scene to see on screen. What's your name? Chewbacca. And funny story. Alden asked me, so what's Chewbacca's real name? And that was on the day. And I was like, Jones. Chewbacca Jones. And he laughed. Yeah. That's, I don't know why I said that. But yeah, my favorite part of the movie. I mean, that could be also my favorite part, you know. There was something about that scene, you know. Han and Chewie introducing themselves for the first time, you know. That's this beginning of this friendship. And I thought it was great. Another favorite part is when, you know, Chewbacca and Chewbacca and Attila played him, but Sagwa, you know, Sagwa and Chewbacca headbutt, you know, when they're leaving the mines. That was one of my favorites. And also the run to save L3 and Lando. Chewbacca running. That was one of my favorite moments. Also, I had to carry Lando and L3. And I was like, it was not as bad as carrying John Boyega because he's, so those were tough days of work because, you know, yeah, let's go.
All right, I guess we have to make Chewbacca Jones canon now. I don't know who you got to speak to make that happen.
Any relation to Indiana Jones is the question we really have to ask ourselves here. Right. I like those answers, Joonas. I really love the this scene with Han and Chewie on that hangar, and they're playing like that Chewbacca theme, and they introduce themselves, and he says you need a nickname. It's very charming, and it's like the kickoff of the friendship. So I love that you just said that. But long answers be gone for a moment. It's lightning round time here. So I'm going to throw these names at you, and I want you to describe each person using only one sentence. So let's give it a shot here.
Okay.
All right. The first one here, Jon Kasdan.
A legend among us.
A legend. I like that. Last year, he did post 3 images that had something to do with future stories. So maybe there's more to that legend for us, but we'll see. Okay. Next one here, Ron Howard.
A beautiful director.
A beautiful director. Beautiful mind. Simply put. Well put. Okay. Next one here, Emilia Clarke.
She has an infectious laugh.
She has a great laugh.
Yeah, now I gotta go back and like listen to all her laughs throughout.
She like wrinkles up her nose and stuff. Like she's super cute.
I know she never really laughs on Game of Thrones, so I can't go there.
Oh, that is fair.
There's other stuff that we can get to. Okay, the next one here is going to be Donald Glover.
Why can't he leave something for the rest of us?
Why can't he leave? So he just stole the show? Is that what you're saying there?
He does everything. He raps, he acts, he's a comedian.
Yeah, that's true. And I just started watching Community too, which is pretty good. So good answer there for Donald Glover. All right, the last one here, Alden Ehrenreich.
Neil Diamond. Alden loved Neil Diamond. He and Woody used to sing Neil Diamond when we were filming this movie, and it was stayed in my head.
Neil Diamond. I never would have imagined that you were going to say Neil Diamond there, but now I won't be able to watch Solo without thinking about the off takes of Woody Harrelson and Alden Ehrenreich running through the halls of the Millennium Falcon, singing the chorus of Sweet Caroline. But there you go. So that's a new little inside baseball thing. So now we can appreciate Solo a little bit more, singing bop, bop, bop. Yeah.
You know, it also makes me wonder too, you know, your relationship with Alden specifically, right? Like Chewie and Han have that tight bond. You know, what's your relationship with Alden, and how do you build up the chemistry between, you know, you being Chewbacca and him being your Han Solo?
Alden, great guy. We hit off immediately, you know, doing training before the movie started. We were, you know, doing all these, we were getting ready to film the mud fight, and that took a majority of our preparation time, because the stunt coordinator wanted us to be ready. Brad Allen, he wanted us to be ready for the mud fight whenever that time came, so we could do everything that was asked of us from the directors. So yeah, we really prepared. We bonded well, and I think it was, Alden was he was so dedicated to playing Han, but he didn't want to make Han, just a copy of Harrison Ford's performance. So, but he was trying to make it his own, and I think he nailed it. So, I think it worked tremendously well on screen, and that's really, I was really glad that it did as well. Yeah, relationship. Alden, we stay in touch. I sent him a birthday message the other day, and he's just a great guy. I hope he is doing well, and also maybe one day, make Solo 2 happen, right?
Absolutely. Like, I'm so glad that you guys got along. You guys had a whole movie to get yourself together. And we absolutely would love to see Solo 2 happen. Let's do another one.
Yeah, you said it right there, Joonas. Make Solo 2 happen. And we started Make Solo 2 happen because we truly love Solo. And it ended with a perfect setup for more Han and Chewie adventures. The movement has captured fans worldwide, and it's a positive movement, and it seems to be growing as more and more people see Solo or get introduced to Solo. And you've even joked, I believe, at Dragon Con that your son's first words were "Make Solo 2 happen." So I just want to know, what does the movement mean to you?
I really hope that there will be a sequel to Solo, and but it's not up to me to decide. And I hope that you guys, keep the flame going, and hopefully one day we'll see something somewhere. And I would be overjoyed if that happened.
That is so great to hear, Joonas. I promise we will definitely keep that flame burning, and you're helping us do that today on Make Solo 2 Happen Day. And you know what? Who knows, like you said, but wouldn't it be pretty awesome if one day we can use the hashtag Made Solo 2 Happen? So we'll see.
Yeah, so Joonas, you've been in other Star Wars movies, including the Skywalker saga. So with the recent Rise of Skywalker, what was the last shot that you had in the movie that you remember filming? And was there any moment in filming that you thought this might be the last moment that you get to play Chewbacca?
My last shot for the Rise of Skywalker, I think my last shot for the Rise of Skywalker, it was something in the Millennium Falcon cockpit. I think it wasn't the greatest Chewbacca scene ever. It was with Poe in the Millennium Falcon cockpit, I think. And but yeah, it didn't really. I don't know. I was just really happy that we had the movie in the can, and I'm fairly confident that one day, there will be something else. But if not, this was a good run. I loved playing Chewie so far, and I can't but be grateful for the opportunity. Thank you, JJ, for needing someone with blue eyes to play this character. And yeah, you were an amazing Chewie in the sequel trilogy and in Solo. So I could only imagine that they're going to bring you back again to play Chewie in the future. That's what we're hoping, at least, right?
Yeah, but since the Skywalker saga is over, right? I mean, it would only be Make Solo 2 Happen, right? That you come back and play Chewie, right? So, I mean, we have everything set up for us, right? We've got, it leads perfectly into the next movie, right?
Yes.
You want to see Make Solo 2 happen? You think it could?
I agree with you. It should happen.
Okay.
Hopefully one day we'll get to see it.
Man, I really hope so. It would be so awesome.
I am vibing off of your positivity and confidence that it is going to happen. So I guess the last question then, we'll keep this one simple. Why do you think fans love Chewie so much?
I think it's Chewbacca's, it's the fact that Chewbacca leaves you, filling in the blanks. He's predictable, but he's mysterious, so you never really know what he's saying. So, it's like he's like the family dog. Everyone loves him, but he lives 400 years. So he lives 100 times more than a family dog. So I don't know. Chewie's got it all. So I think the best thing about Chewbacca is his loyalty to his friends, and that is something that we all wish we had in a friend, and Chewbacca gives that to us. So.
Well, the three of us obviously love Chewie, right, guys?
Yes, we do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
By the way, I got to say this. I love the hat.
Yeah, in case you didn't notice, I was wearing this scoundrel hat. Han Solo, my full support. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for having me. Hopefully, Make Solo 2 happen. Will come to fruition. And I hope everyone is staying safe, and may the Force be with you. Cheers, guys.
Thank you, Joonas. And you stay safe, too, because like you said, we have to make Solo 2 happen, and we need plenty more Chewie on down the line. So thank you so much for joining us today on the Resistance broadcast on Make Solo 2 Happen Day. We really appreciate you taking the time, and hopefully we can talk again with you down the line.
When do you know how to fly? 190 years old? You look great.
There you have it. The Scoundrel. That was great. And we are so happy that our fellow fans out there can see how much Joonas really does appreciate and support the Make Solo 2 Happen movement. It's not one of those things where the creators and actors are over here not paying attention. No, he's in the mix, and he is all about it. And we just can't thank Joonas enough for having taken the time to join us today. We know things are crazy with the pandemic and all the craziness out in the world today, so he was able to take the time to do this with us. We hope he joins us again. But
that's a great hat, by the way. I know we talked about it, but it's a great hat.
Yeah, it's a great hat. But yeah, Joonas, thank you so much for joining us again, and we hope to see you again. You officially have a key to the Resistance base, so you can come back anytime, and we know everybody appreciates having seen you there. And like you said, we're going to keep this going for you, and we're going to keep pressing our foot on the gas to keep making Solo 2 happen. And hopefully, like I said, we can one day maybe use the hashtag made Solo 2 happen, and we'll see. But let's keep this day rolling, and we are going to hear from all of you out there now why you think they should make Solo 2 happen in Resistance Transmissions. Lacey, what did they have to say on this glorious day?
All right, guys, it's time for Resistance Transmissions. So unfortunately, John just told me the scenario, so that totally changes this segment. But I figured that was what it was. That was a good guess.
Yeah.
It was pretty obvious.
It's a good guess.
Anyway, I just made this super awkward. All right, so...
You only make it awkward when you say it's awkward.
I know. Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome for that. All right, so... Usually, there's a crazy, wacky situation. This week, there's not. It's just wholesome awesomeness of why you guys want to make Solo 2 happen. So let's get started. First up is Trevor at Spin Up the FTL.
Trev Bo.
And Trev Bo said, I loved Solo and am down for any and all Star Wars content, especially stories from areas and worlds we haven't explored yet. Solo 2 would be would be a perfect opportunity for this to happen. Hashtag make Solo 2 happen.
Sweet.
Trying to get my phone out of my holder here.
Love it. Bounty hunters, smugglers, the underworld.
Get Bosk in there with his
ships,
his gross toes.
aliens.
Yeah.
Gross toes, dude.
all of it. Perfect.
Next up is Bethany Peterson at beer_Fett. Hey, Bethany. She said, I need to see one of two things happen, parenthesis, even though both would be ideal. 1, Kira and Infus Nest yeet Maul. Yeet Maul off to Malachor after dismantling his control over the crime syndicates. So for the people at home, yeet means like just like throw, just like yeet them. All the hip kids.
Yeet.
I literally just learned that right now.
Right.
Like,
Did you?
Yeah. No, I've never heard that term. Yeet.
I said it to John one time.
Lacey has TikTok.
Yeah.
No, I
So
said it to
she
John one
knows.
time when he threw the helmet across the room. I was like, wow, you just really yeeted
That's when I learned it, I think.
Oh, I think I was talking right then, and John was just doing his bit, so I must have missed that.
You're like, I was having a very emotional explanation of why Star Wars means so much to me, and John's over there like yeeting stuff. Okay.
Yeeting.
Anyway, number 2, Maul places a bounty on Han, and guess who gets the puck? Boba Fett, thus starting the rivalry.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Next up is Wendy, I'm going to say Coupe?
Yeah, I think so.
At Wendy Uncharted.
By
Hi,
the way,
Wendy.
Wendy loves us, but not as much as she loves Make Solo 2 happen.
She wants Alden back so bad.
But not as much as she loves Alden Ehrenreich.
I know.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, she said, to see more of Alden Ehrenreich and Joonas Suotamo's awesome chemistry, they honored these legacy characters, and I'd love to see more of their adventures. Let's see them go on Tatooine. Also, I adore Kira, and I need to know what she's up to in Crimson Dawn.
Absolutely.
Hashtag make Solo 2 happen.
Absolutely, Wendy.
Next up is Matt Tisher at Matt Tisher.
Ooh,
and
way to get your handle on Make Solo 2 happen day, Matt.
He definitely did. Oh, by the way, handles.
His account started today?
By the way.
What was that, Lacey?
Handles. Someone was tweeting about this. I guess Netflix is starting to eliminate inactive accounts. Mm-hmm. And so people are saying that they're going to start doing that for other social platforms. So, James Baney?
No, he's active.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, James. Hope was there and then totally destroyed, like Alderaan.
Yeah.
All right. So Matt said, because it did the impossible, Harrison Ford and Han Solo are the coolest of the cool. Replicating that with another actor shouldn't have worked, but Alden knocked it out of the park.
Boom.
Agreed. Next up is Wolf King / Resistance Officer at Wolf King 2010.
This guy is the best.
Jeremie is the best, but I love that his name is Resistance Officer, just so everyone knows. He said, one reason I want to help hashtag make Solo 2 happen is to see the special modifications Han and Chewie make to the Millennium Falcon. I need to know what happens with Maul and Kira.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
In A New Hope, he says, by the way, I've made some special modifications. I'd like to see that too.
Yeah. Next up is Joey Sack at Joey Sack.
Handle.
And he said, Solo was a fun movie with a great cast, and the door is wide open for further adventures. Plus, the way they left off screams Disney plus follow-up to me. So let's hashtag make Solo 2 happen.
Yeah.
We're not the only ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up is Matt at MIB1188, and he said 2 words. More at Joonas Suotamo. What a Wookiee. Punch it, Chewie.
Yes.
Hashtag make Solo 2 happen.
We didn't mention it, but man, what a great follow on social media.
Oh,
Joonas?
Yeah.
He loves Star Wars, and he always like
he does
you'll
caption
see a
this
big
with
popular
Chewie.
tweet. Yeah, he'll do that, but he'll like there'll be a tweet and he'll like somehow connect it back to Chewie all the time. Like it's so good. I love him.
Next is Star Wars Steve at Spoon E1. Is it like Obi-Wan? Spoony1?
Spoony1.
And Steve said, I want to see more because it is the best movie in this era. Solo was great from start to finish. Alden as Han and Donald as Lando were perfect. Amelia was
Yeah.
interesting. Han and Chewie meeting, just fantastic. Seeing the Falcon, iconic. It is just great. We deserve to see more.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's funny too because I don't know why it wasn't that we forgot, but a special like 13 on our Kessel run, if you will, Donald Glover.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah.
We didn't really mention him, but man, like I think even before the movie came out, there were people that were like, well, this movie's gonna fail. Well, except for the Donald Glover thing, that was actually it was absolutely perfect.
He was
casting.
the one that was
couldn't
like,
have done any
yeah.
better.
Why? You know why maybe he wasn't in our Kessel run? Because like Joonas said, save some for the rest of us. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was such a good answer. I laughed so hard.
Yeah.
So good. All right. So next is Alexander Moylan at Alexander Moylan.
another handle. All right.
Going for it today. He said, because Solo epitomized how fun Star Wars still is without the weight of the Skywalker saga. Also, unlike the saga, Solo has an immensely stronger appeal to the layperson, like me. Anyone can be Han Solo, an extraordinary character without extraordinary powers. Hashtag make Solo 2 happen.
That's a fantastic point. The regular person makes good in the galaxy far, far away, dodging space wizards and Sith lords and getting through and getting by.
Right.
Like, life is all about getting by for a lot of people right now,
Surviving,
and no
yeah.
one epitomizes that like Han Solo.
Right.
I love that at the beginning. What was it that they said? Without the weight of the Skywalker saga, it's like Rogue One carried that over, right? It still had the weight of the importance of what was going on in the Civil
Invader,
War and
yeah.
all that. Dude, Solo does not, and it's just that I think people say it's fun. You know, it's just a fun movie. It's a fun adventure in this, and you know what? I don't know what you guys think, but I love that answer.
That is a great
I
answer.
love
too.
it so much.
I do too.
Because I've never even really thought about that. And here we do this giant list, and it's like, that's right there. I almost want to nominate this for a Hall of Fame Resistance transmission.
Yeah?
Aw. Usually they're funny, but
'Cause-
I get it.
No, but I mean, it's deserving. It's like, it's one of the best
All right,
answers
well,
that we
let's put it up
got.
to a vote.
I vote too. No.
Lacey?
I'm yes. Yeah, sure.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, you've now been revoked. You are not
No.
the creator anymore.
No, put it in. We have all right, Hall of Famer. Put it in. Let's write that down. Alexander Moylan is in the Resistance Transmissions Hall of Fame, an eclectic group. You're gonna get a gold jacket sent to you
you're not.
shortly.
If you use the hashtag 5 times, you might get a red jacket.
Right, red jacket, yeah.
All right. Last but not least is Catherine Endicott at Endicott K. And
I wonder what the
Catherine's
K stands for.
Catherine. Oh.
Wow, wow, wow.
So Catherine, hi Catherine, said, I would love to hashtag make Solo 2 happen because Solo was pure unadulterated fun. More Chewie and Han shenanigans. More Kira and Maul Crimson Dawn conniving. More Lando capes.
There you
I
go.
think Lando capes was a missed opportunity on our count, like our
Sure.
Kessel run.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's it. Guys, hashtag make Solo 2 happen. Thank you so much for your wholesome, fun answers. If you want to be on the show next time, make sure to follow us on Twitter at RBATSWNN. And then every week, John usually puts up a crazy, wacky situation. And then you give your answers. But sometimes it's fun too. And just stuff like, why do we love Star Wars?
Yeah.
So yeah, now back to John.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for putting a little pause on your Memorial Day and putting a pause on your social media posting to check out the episode. If you waited until Tuesday to check out the episode, that's cool too. Look, we're all in this together. We got to hit up those social media accounts. So keep posting all day. Hashtag make Solo 2 happen. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Do it 5 times on Twitter if you want to enter to win the variant that James was talking about. The red Make Solo 2 Happen shirt with the white lettering. It's only going to be available for purchase today, and you could win one of them as well as the making of Solo book by Rob Brito. Make sure you do subscribe to the Resistance broadcast. We have episodes. We don't only podcast on May 25th once a year. We have episodes every Monday and Thursday on YouTube. If you're watching, hello. SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, wherever you can find a podcast, we are there. So make sure you subscribe because we have 2 episodes a week every Monday and Thursday. We have the Mando Fan Show on Fridays. We'll be bringing that back also this fall when season 2 of The Mandalorian hits. And maybe one day we'll do a solo fan show if they decide to get that going. But make sure
what a day that will be.
That I will sob.
The solo fan show.
Yeah, right. Make sure you guys go to StarWarsNewsNet.com every day for all of your Star Wars news, reviews, editorials, information, and more. I want to thank our patrons, our Resistance officers who support us in making our podcast and our show and our videos and everything that we do. They're a big reason for that. So patreon.com/Resistance Broadcast. If you want to support us, head there. It starts at $2 a month. And we appreciate all the support. Check it out. And if you see a tier you like, you want to get involved, and you want more content and be part of our community, we appreciate it. Special thank you to our generals, Carmelo, Andrew Staley, Jeremy Myers, Neel Shah, David Probus, John Risi, the Beard Brothers, or Beer Squadron, Micah Harrison, Tampa Movie Guy, Gary, Michael Gaines, Jetta Rosewater, Beer Fett Bethany, and Val Trichkov. Thank you so much, generals, for all of your support. We couldn't do it without you. Teespring.com/stores/Resistance Broadcast if you want your Make Solo 2 Happen gear and a bunch of other cool designs. And we actually may have another update to one of our designs coming soon. We'll let you know about that. You guys can find me on Twitter at Johnny Hoey. Hashtagging Make Solo 2 Happen like an absolute savage today. And at StarWarsNewsNet.com. James?
Yo, hit me up on the Twitters at Myra Trunks. Follow me. Lacey's face right now.
He learns what yeet is, and all of a sudden he's cool.
Yeah, I just figured it out. I'm down with the lingo.
Yeah.
That's what the kids are saying.
Right.
And Make Solo 2 Happen.
Steve Buscemi over here. Lacey?
People can find me talking about Solo and how great it is and hoping for a sequel at Lacey Gilleran on Twitter and Instagram.
Yes. And a reminder, tonight, if you are a part of the people joining us on the virtual cantina for Make Solo 2 Happen Day, we'll see you at 8 o'clock U.S. East. And if you're not going to be joining the call itself, remember, we'll be live streaming from the Star Wars Newsnet YouTube channel. You can join us in the live chat in the comments and watch all the silliness going on. If you thought this episode was fun and silly, you just wait until I have a tall, cool Budweiser in my hand at 8 o'clock tonight. But we hope you guys are enjoying your Make Solo 2 Happen Day. Tell your friends, bring them along, keep hashtagging Make Solo 2 Happen. Let's get this thing to number 1. Who knows? Woo. Who knows, right? But thank you all for your support. Thanks for being fun fans. Thanks for making this a positive movement. And let's keep going so that one day we don't have to do it anymore because they Make Solo 2 Happen. We'll see you around, kids.
Yes.